Just a few words about Peter. Peter studied electrical engineering, computer architecture at Delft University of Technology in the Netherlands. Together with some graduates, he started his own company, specialized in developing custom advanced computer hardware and software systems. So Peter will talk to us today about surviving the mind prison, because it is really a prison, although you cannot see the bars, and organized stalking and electronic harassment. So Peter, I give you the floor.
Thank you very much, Melanie. Yeah, there's a slight change of program. We have to swap speakers. We'll also start a little later, so I will talk for maybe 15 minutes, and then Mikael will do the next presentation. Magnus also will talk probably later in the afternoon. Okay, so stop back. How did I start Stoking? Stoking stands for Stop Electronic Weapons, Stop Gang Stalking. Well, why would you start such an organization? It didn't come to my mind when I was younger, at least. So I like Melanie told, I started my own company, and I've been working for several companies. But then after leaving a company in 1997, strange things began to happen. In that company, there was an American working, and he told me this anecdote. It was something about the CIA on the news, and he said, "I have a friend, and he works for the NSA," and he was just joking about it. And he said, "Yeah, well, I asked my friend, how can I contact you?" And then his friend said, "Well, you just pick up any phone, and you shout my name, and I will pick up the phone." So that was in 1997. And there was an American working for a Dutch company. So at that time, probably this whole network from surveillance was already in use. That company was started and founded by one of the richest people in the Netherlands. And I left there, maybe after 8 months. They were not really glad that I left. And from that moment on, strange things began happening in my life. I could not get a job anymore, so I was just walking in the street, and there was somebody walking to me, and he stood right in front of me, and he said, I will never work again." And then he just passed by. So things from that on have been really a struggle. I started to work to become self-employed after working for these companies. And I had some friends, and these friends gave me work. So because I know people already from a long time ago, I'm still working, and well, I'm very happy for that. So, but the things built up, and in the year 2000, the whole harassment exploded into 24/7 gang stalking, as you call it. I wrote a letter to the Dutch Prime Minister in 2002, and I asked him to investigate the crimes against me, to stop these crimes, to give me the names of the criminals who were doing this, so that they get into jail. And I asked for a compensation of 4 million euros. If I would write that today, it would be 40 million euros, I think. It's really incredible the amount of crimes that have been committed. I still could work a little bit, but that was the only thing I could do. And I felt strong enough to start writing about it on the internet in 2005, 2006. From that moment on, I was also electronically attacked. So the first few years, I was literally cooked out of my home, burnt and cooked out of my home. I had these old constructions of metal and water walls built in my home. I had them for maybe 1-2 years, and then I decided to kick them out and just accept what was going on. And if I would be hurt by these weapons, then at least I had evidence. And from that moment on, the harassment was a little bit less, I must say. Not really much, but at least I did not try to leave any evidence. Because I was a survivor and I did not collapse, I did not go to a psychiatrist. It was already a miracle. I was close to suicide, I was close to going to a psychiatrist. But it didn't happen to me, and it was really different from many other TIs, so I felt, okay, I must do something. I started writing on the internet, and I thought I can help other victims, and so I started Stobing Foundation in 2007, and from that moment on I have been contacted from victims all over the world. It's really amazing when you get email from people in China, when you get email from people in Brazil, so not only from Belgium, Netherlands, but also so far away, just contacting you about this problem. I researched and tried to support them. So, okay, I could not help them. I do not have an army, because you really need an army to protect people. So the way I tried to help them was just to explain what I did. It may not be the best way what I did, but at least I'm still here, so it was not really such a bad way. Then in 2013 I started to connect TIs, targeted individuals. These are the people who are attacked with these methods. And in the Netherlands I do 5 TI meetings a year, which means there will be, we now have about 30 to 40 people in the Netherlands who have joined such a TI meeting. There may be 10, 20, sometimes people coming to these meetings. They're real meetings where people really meet and have contact with each other. So it's not contact over the internet, these are real meetings. In 2013, the end of 2013, I also started doing these meetings in Germany. So we did 3 meetings in Germany, also with a German targeted individual who has an organization, Karol Smit. Unfortunately, he cannot be here. And in June 2015, I also met someone who was a targeted individual in the UK, and I did a meeting in the UK. And I can only say from all these meetings that people are really happy that these meetings are taking place, and that they can connect to other people, not just on the internet, but really find other people and can do and talk things through. So this conference is a next step, connecting people from all over Europe, and I'm really happy. I think, yeah, we must connect, we must stay together. Some people, when they registered, they called me and they said, yes, I don't want to register because this is a death list you're making. You're just putting on the death list. And what are they going to do? Are they going to call the hotel when we're all there? What are you going to do? So, but yes, it's in a kind of way, it's of course a death list, but everybody who's a real target individual knows that we do not have any privacy. There is no privacy. They know everything we do. So yeah, you must make a choice. Do you want to lead a life that's very quiet? Because if you stay quiet as a target individual, then the harassment is a little bit less. And the more you write and talk about this on the internet and have contact with other persons, try to expose these crimes, the more you will be attacked. I think it can be confirmed by a number of people who also have organizations here. Okay. So this conference, we hope to do this every year. It has been a tremendous effort, but we hope that next year that we learned a lot already. And we will, hopefully the next year we will do this a little bit different, but okay. So I will make a very short presentation because we start a little bit later and we will have a coffee break already at 10:45. Magnus Olsen is not here. He will be talking probably in the afternoon, so after Uni Kilde will be speaking. I had a small presentation. I will put it on the internet for everyone. My presentation is called Escaping the Mind Prison. This is a mind prison. Gang stalking and electronic harassment are both mind control programs. They try to alter the state of your mind very much. These are mind control experimentation programs, so you are attacked and they measure the result of these attacks and change these attacks, adapt them and see what's the maximum, for example, the maximum level of pain a person can get, the maximum state of fear that you can get a person into. So these are mind control programs. As you all know, police will not help us. It's really one of the most difficult things for many people to accept. I mean, they took away our guns. Huh? In the US you still have guns. Well, I wish they did this also in Europe. They took away our guns, so we have nothing to defend ourselves with. But there is no instruction for the police to help us. If something happens to us, then when you go to the police, they will say, well, we will help you. Go to your doctor, go to see a person in the hospital. We don't want to help you. A few months ago, I went to the police in the Netherlands again, and I asked them, when I come to you, and I will tell you that am attacked with these electronic weapons, will you help me? And then he said, well, I have to check inside. And, I had to call a few times, but after a few weeks he called me and he said, no, well, Peter, I'm calling you, but only because you are an organization, otherwise I wouldn't have called you. I checked with some people inside the police, and we will not do anything about this because we don't have any instruction to do anything about it. So the police will not help you. Why does the police have no instruction to do anything about it? Because these are really very serious crimes. These are government crimes, government allowed crimes. Police is not instructed by the politicians. They should be instructed by politicians, but they are not instructed by politicians to do anything about it. And this has to do, so this must all be kept very much a secret. So I can talk a little bit about the mind, how to respond to all these attacks. Many people ask me, help me, what can I do to stop these attacks? Well, there is really not much you can do except accepting that you are attacked. But there are a number of things that can be done. And I think one of the most important things you must understand, I was also talking to William Binning also yesterday about this is when you are attacked, this is done with a special reason. So they do something to you and then measure your response. They look at you, how you react, and they will adjust then the method and try again and adjust the method until they have made this optimal. You should I always say, try to break this loop, try to break the feedback, this is the system, try to break the feedback signal of this system. So if, for example, you are provoked, you are called at certain moments, then do not react immediately, never react immediately. Take the dice, throw, and the number of, that's on the dice, is, for example, delay how you react. So if somebody calls you, then do not pick up the phone, but call this person a call a few minutes later. That's determined by the dice. So that's totally, so you have a totally random response to what they're doing. That's really very important. So make your response as random as possible. This is really one of the things that they are doing. So you have electronic torture, which is really very horrible. I think about it, the people who are contacting me, maybe 50% is being attacked electronically. And of these 50%, maybe half is really tortured by these weapons, which is quite a lot. The number of people who are attacked electronically have increased the last few years. When you are electronically tortured, I have discussions with people, you cannot really compare torture, but electronic torture is really, I can say, one of the most horrible forms of torture, because you cannot go out of your home, it just takes place into your home. This is based on radio waves, they are going through wall, you cannot have any protection. If your children are inside, they attack your children inside. There is no protection, and they will take you down on the floor, they will give you maximum pain, all in 30 seconds or 20 seconds, and there is no protection possible. When you are a real victim, they will install equipment at your neighbor's house, at a few locations around you, just to make you confused. Where I live, they also have this military base, and they fly with aircraft over, so, I mean, it comes from all sides. One of the things I want to mention that has to do with electronic torture is electronic rape. So this is really another outrageous crime that is committed. While you are sitting there, they give you an erection, they make orgasms for women, just when you're sitting somewhere. When you're having sex, they can terminate your erection, or just stimulate it. So, in fact, if you don't know this, then really nothing is real anymore, and that's a little bit what's going on. If you don't know this, we are the people who know. The people outside this room do not know this. So if for example, you know this, you have the capability of these weapons, you can use these weapons, and you would like to have a certain woman as a girlfriend, you can manipulate her mind with these electronic weapons, you can manipulate her feelings, you can even give her an orgasm when she sees you every time. And that's really, I think that's really outrageous. A little word about secret services. I really want to say this. There is absolutely nothing good about them. They hide between the state security. You cannot touch them. Everybody the politicians are afraid for them. They eliminate, they experiment. They do not care about people, children, life in general. Many people. How many victims here have children, but for most people who have children, they just attack the children to attack the victim itself. They don't care. They also use children to set up, to throw things at you when you're outside. It's really, they don't care about anything, they don't care about the law. So we have human rights, but not for all. Not for all people, no. And you can say democracy does not exist. Other organizations do not have any unit to investigate these crimes. When you go to Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, what they say is, well, yeah, well, we want, for example, this is what the response from Amnesty International I got. We just want to only do crimes that leave evidence. So yeah, well, thank you very much, Amnesty International. So I've been contacted by these organizations, I've contacted by many organizations, but do not have any support. Okay, I will please. Again, I want to tell about this feedback that you're giving. They are attacking to all victims here. They are attacking you, and they look at your response. They do this not only by watching you on the camera, but they're also watching what you are thinking of. And that's really, try to think very much how you respond and how you can randomize that, because that's very important for the next days and the next days of your life. Thank you very much. I will now give the microphone to Melanie.